Thank you. Now we will be addressed by Mitchell White.
Hello, my name is Mitchell White. Can you all hear me all right?
Yes.
Thank you. I'm a Republican running for U.S. Congress. By profession, I'm an accountant. Specifically, I was a senior auditor for Ernst & Young for the last couple of years. I spent about half of my time auditing healthcare organizations. I did it all over the West Coast, from Washington to Southern California. I got to see what really happens behind the scenes, and that was probably the most interesting part of my experience as a senior auditor. I even got to audit some local companies like Sutter Health, see what really they're doing behind the scenes, how they spend their money, where it goes, how each person is charged. What I found was actually the thing that got me into politics. See, I just wanted to be an accountant always. But when I realized that hospitals are doing some pretty sneaky things behind the scenes, I realized we need to make some changes. I tried to put some bills out there for Tom McClintock, but he doesn't listen to his constituents. So I don't think that needs to go on further without saying stuff like that. But the truth is that we need people that are willing to stand up and fight for issues that we care about. So I'm going to try and talk about all these answers here, and then I'll go into my healthcare bill. And I'm not just saying here are the problems in healthcare. I'm actually coming with real solutions to these problems. The question I get often the most is, why are prescription costs so much higher in America, and why are they so high in general? We're the ones innovating, we're the ones creating these pills and everything, and yet we pay the burden for everything, and everyone else gets it cheaper. My own grandmother goes to Chile once a year to visit family and also to get her prescriptions. I mean, if that's the case, we have a real problem and we need to fix it. Social Security, it's completely falling apart. In 1950, there were 16 workers for every one person retired. That's how it's able to fund itself. Now there's 3 for every one. We need to change things. It's already in a deficit, and it's going to just continue to grow and balloon up, and that's a real problem we have to address. So I'm glad to address these. In fact, answer number 3, the most important issues I think we face is Social Security, the high costs of hospital visits and healthcare, and also prescriptions. So I'm going to try and address all those today. So to start out with question number 1, how do we protect Social Security for today's seniors and strengthen it for future generations? Well, I believe that we need to do for future generations. And to start out, I believe that we should uphold our promises we make to everybody. If we've told you you're going to retire at 65 and you're going to get a certain amount, we need to uphold our promises and give that stuff. But for the future generations coming in now, people my age and below, I think what we need to do is we need to create a new contract. We need to privatize healthcare for those people. We need to create something new, that way it can actually work more efficiently and not waste our money. So that's kind of my, yes, I do believe in privatizing healthcare, but I believe in doing it at the younger people's age. That way they know what they're getting into now and they're not given some fake promise. In fact, most people my age, we don't even consider Social Security to be something that we're going to fall back on when we're retired. We just know it's not going to be there. So let's change the promise we're going to make to those people. Do you support increasing the grant levels for Social Security and COLA? First, I believe we need to fix it by privatizing it. And that's going to be kind of the solution, my main solution for Social Security. Obviously, there's a lot of problems, and the main thing I want to focus on is privatizing it for young people. So I think if we fix it first, then we can focus on putting more money instead of just wasting and pumping more money into a solution that's not working already. Cap on taxable income. Eliminating the cap on taxable income. I'm actually very much in favor of this. So what this is referring to is there's a certain dollar threshold where after you make, I think it's a little over $100,000, you don't pay any taxes into Social Security. I thought that this was interesting the first time I saw it, because as an accountant we know that most taxes are progressive. You know, when you don't make as much money, you don't pay as much, but when you make more, you pay more, and that's fair, or at least the same amount. But for some reason, when it comes to Social Security, once you make a lot of money, you stop paying taxes on this. It doesn't actually make sense, even from a Republican standpoint. That's not even a fair tax. So I do believe that we should eliminate the cap on Social Security income. How would you strengthen Social Security disability insurance? Well, again, this just relates to privatizing it. We just need to privatize it for the young people. We need to cut out the fat, and that's really the administrative cost a lot with Social Security, and have it being run by people who are not politicians, have it being run by the private industry. Same thing with administration. Just put it into the private sector and let the private sector's administration run it better. That's my opinion on that. Windfall example provision, full amounts of benefits that people earned. I actually very much agree with this, and I think when you privatize it, you'll actually see that that's going to be the case. People deserve, if they put in money, they deserve to be able to take that out. Right now, there's a very small relation to what you put into Social Security and what you take out when you retire. So we need to fix that, and I do believe that if you put in a certain amount of money, if you want to put more in, then you should be able to get more out later on. I think that's important. Now, number 2, how would you put Medicare on a stronger financial footing? Well, I have a healthcare bill that does that. See, right now in healthcare, people say that there's no transparency, there's no competition, and they're absolutely right. And I have a healthcare bill that actually fixes that. And at the end, I'm going to address exactly what my healthcare bill is and how it'll actually make it transparent, make healthcare transparent for everybody. Now, do you support efforts to expand Medicare to everyone from cradle to grave? No, I do not. I do not believe that Medicare should be for all. I think that it should, because whenever we've seen, this is essentially a universal healthcare system, and I don't like that. In fact, Gavin Newsom says he's going to institute that if he's elected within 1 to 2 years. I'm strongly fighting against that because the truth is we really do have some major problems in our healthcare system. There's no doubt about it. And if we don't fix them, then we're going to take any solution that we're given, and currently that's universal healthcare. I do not want that, and I believe that we need to fix them because there's no competition in healthcare right now. That's really a problem, and that's why I have a bill to address that. So no, I don't think cradle to grave is the correct way to go about that. Do you support legislation that would allow Medicare to negotiate lower and fair drug prices? Short answer, yes. But I think we need to be very careful about how we go about this. See, in healthcare, discounts are actually the main problem, the real root problem, the reason why we don't have transparency. But I think for Medicare specifically, they should be allowed to negotiate a fairer price and a lower price. See, in healthcare, and this relates to my actual healthcare bills, what I saw is that when you go into a hospital and you say, how much is this going to cost me for this procedure? You go to the front desk and say, how much is this, my leg is broken, how much is it going to cost to fix this? Oftentimes the answer you're going to get is, I don't know. There's no way to figure it out, which is weird though because all hospitals have to actually put their prices online. Yet for some reason they can't tell you when you walk in there. Why is that? Why is there no transparency and why can you not see what the price is? That's a problem. The reason why is because they apply a massive discount to everybody that has insurance or any kind of third-party payer. And that sounds great. When I heard that, I was like, sweet, I have insurance. I'm going to get a massive discount. That's great. But here's the problem with it. It makes it so you don't know what the price is. It makes it so that you can't go to a hospital down the street and say, what's the cost going to be over there? $10,000? What's it over here? $15,000? Well, I'm going to go to the one that's better value for me and go to the one that's $10,000. That's a problem. We have no transparency and therefore we have no competition because you don't know which one's the best value for you. When I saw that in healthcare, I said, that's strange. First of all, not only is the fact that you're not giving the discount to the people who are uninsured and they're getting price gouged, which is just completely wrong and immoral, but you're making it intransparent for everybody else. There's no competition at all for that reason. So I wrote a bill saying, get rid of discounts for all private companies, all private insurance companies. What you'll see in healthcare is that everything, all the prices will lower. So the price that the hospital or the insurance companies are currently negotiating for, then you can actually have transparency and compare prices between hospitals. That's what we really need to do, and that's what my healthcare bill will do. It restructures the billing system to actually fix the real root problems in healthcare, to increase transparency and competition for the first time, so you can actually know what the cost of your healthcare procedures will be. That's something we absolutely need. I should make sure I answered all the rest of the questions on here before I move on. Do you support efforts to expand Medicare coverage to include long-term care, such as dentistry and vision? Yes. Healthcare is for, when we're providing Medicare, I think you should provide all healthcare for people over the age of 65. And if that includes vision, that's part of your healthcare, and I think that should be included, absolutely. And I think I've already addressed the final question of Social Security, hospitals, and prescriptions. So let's talk about prescriptions. The most asked question I get, why are prescriptions so much more expensive? And I actually have a solution to this. What it is, and I'll probably just take the 2 minutes I'm giving at the end here because I have one left, or the 1 minute at the end. When it comes to prescriptions, as an accountant, when I audit a company, such as if I'm auditing Sutter Health down the street, and if they give me a gift of $100, I'm not allowed to take that because it makes it look like I am taking a bribe from them. Even if I'm not, and I'm not actually persuaded, and my integrity is still strong, I'm not allowed to take that because in perception, it looks like my integrity is not there. And so that's understandable, right? We all agree that I shouldn't be taking, because people are trusting my reports that I'm giving out on the status of this hospital. And yet, when it comes to doctors, it's totally different. Doctors are allowed to take money from pharmaceutical companies. They're allowed to take gifts from pharmaceutical companies and medical device companies. Yet, we actually had a government report that came out and said all doctors have to report the exact amount of money that they get from these pharmaceutical companies. I'll just take the last minute to address the last question here. And it's really interesting because I looked into this report and it said that the average physician, and you can look up your own physician, the average physician in America takes $3,300 from pharmaceutical companies. When I saw that, I was like, well, that's very strange. I'm sure a lot of doctors still have their integrity and are trying to give you the best thing for you, the best value for you. But I think a lot of them are being persuaded by these large pharmaceutical companies. When I audited a pharmaceutical company, I wanted to see where their costs were going. And yeah, they spend a lot, billions of dollars, on getting doctors to sell their products. Not because it's best for you, but because it's best for them. And we need to make it so doctors, they can sell whatever they want. They can give you what's best for them, as they should do, but just take away the money out of it. Take away the fact that pharmaceutical companies cannot give doctors money. I think that's where we need to solve problems. And that's why I'm writing bills focused on those areas to actually solve real problems we have. Did I not address any of the other questions? Two, let me go for that one. How would you put Medicare on a stronger? Well, my healthcare bill does that. What it does is it'll increase competition. So when you increase competition, you end up with two things: lower prices and better quality service, which you guys need. You deserve the best quality of service you can get. And my healthcare bill will increase competition, which will lower prices, which saves taxpayers money, and it will increase the quality of your service, which is what you need in Medicare. Thank you.